Carl Gustav Jung, the Swiss psychiatrist and psychoanalyst, is one of the most fascinating figures in the history of psychology, and his concept of archetypes is a cornerstone of his revolutionary ideas. To dive into this, let's embark on a journey through the human psyche, where ancient myths, dreams, and universal patterns collide to shape who we are and how we experience the world. Buckle up, this is going to be an exhilarating ride into the depths of the mind. Who was Carl Jung? Before we plunge into archetypes, let's set the stage with Jung himself. Born in 1875 in Switzerland, Jung was a thinker who dared to explore the uncharted territories of the human soul. Initially a close collaborator of Sigmund Freud, Jung broke away from Freud's focus on sexuality as the primary driver of human behavior. Instead, Jung proposed a broader, more mystical vision of the psyche, one that included not just personal experiences but also the collective wisdom of humanity, stretching back to our earliest ancestors. His work blended psychology, mythology, religion, and even esoteric traditions, making him a pioneer in understanding the deeper layers of the mind. Jung's ideas were radical for his time. He believed that our minds are not isolated but connected to a shared reservoir of human experience, which he called the collective unconscious. This is where archetypes come in, universal patterns or images that live in this collective unconscious and shape our thoughts, behaviors, and stories across cultures and time. What are archetypes? Imagine archetypes as the blueprints of human experience, etched into the DNA of our psyche. They are not specific images or ideas but rather universal, primal patterns that manifest in our myths, dreams, art, and behaviors. Think of them as the invisible scaffolding behind the stories we tell, the roles we play, and the symbols that resonate with us on a gut level. Archetypes are like the cosmic cookie cutters of the mind. They give form to our deepest instincts and experiences. Jung described archetypes as primordial images that have existed since the dawn of humanity. They're not something we learn, they're hardwired into us, emerging spontaneously in our dreams, fantasies, and cultural narratives. Archetypes are timeless, appearing in the myths of ancient Mesopotamia, the fairy tales of medieval Europe, and even the blockbuster movies of today. They are the reason why certain stories like The Hero's Journey or The Wise Old Mentor feel so familiar, no matter where or when you encounter them. The collective unconscious, the home of archetypes. To understand archetypes, we need to grasp Jung's concept of the collective unconscious. Unlike the personal unconscious, which holds your individual memories and repressed experiences, the collective unconscious is a shared psychic reservoir that all humans tap into. It's like a vast, ancient library filled with the experiences, symbols, and instincts of our species. Jung believed that this collective unconscious is inherited, just like our physical traits, and it contains archetypes as its core building blocks. Picture the collective unconscious as an ocean, and archetypes as the currents that flow through it, shaping the waves of human thought and culture. These currents are universal, which is why similar symbols and stories like the flood myth or the trickster figure appear in cultures that had no contact with each other. It's as if humanity is singing the same song, with different lyrics but the same melody. Key archetypes, the cast of the psyche's drama. Jung identified many archetypes, but some of the most prominent ones are like characters in the grand theater of the human psyche. Let's meet a few of the stars. The hero, the archetype of courage, triumph, and transformation. The hero embarks on a journey, faces trials, and overcomes obstacles to achieve greatness or save others. Think of figures like Odysseus, Luke Skywalker, or even modern-day heroes in your favorite movies. The hero resonates because it reflects our own struggles to grow, conquer fears, and find purpose. The shadow, the dark, hidden side of ourselves, the parts we repress or deny, like anger, fear, or selfishness. The shadow isn't inherently evil, it's just unacknowledged. In stories, it might appear as the villain, like Darth Vader, or the monster within. Confronting the shadow is key to personal growth, as it forces us to integrate our flaws and become whole. The wise old man, woman, the guide, mentor, or sage who offers wisdom and insight. This archetype shows up as Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, Yoda in Star Wars, or even a real-life teacher who changes your perspective. They represent the accumulated knowledge of humanity, guiding us through challenges, the mother, the nurturing, life-giving force, but also sometimes the devouring or overprotective one. The mother archetype appears in figures like Gaia, the Virgin Mary, or even Mother Nature. It embodies creation, care, and sometimes the overwhelming power of life itself. The trickster, the mischievous, boundary-breaking figure who challenges norms and brings change through chaos. Think of Loki in Norse mythology or the coyote in Native American tales. The trickster keeps things dynamic, reminding us that life is unpredictable and transformation often comes through disruption. The persona, the mask we wear to face the world. The persona is how we present ourselves to others, our social roles, our public image. But if we over-identify with it, we risk losing touch with our true selves. The self, the ultimate archetype, representing wholeness and integration. The self is the center of the psyche, the union of conscious and unconscious, often symbolized by mandlas or divine figures. It's the goal of Jung's process of individuation, where we strive to become our most authentic, balanced selves. These are just a few examples. Jung believed there were countless archetypes, each shaping different aspects of human experience. They appear not only in myths and stories but also in our dreams, where they take on personal forms, and in our everyday lives, where they influence how we act and relate to others. Why archetypes matter? The power of universal patterns. Archetypes are exciting because they connect us to something bigger than ourselves. They are the threads that weave together the tapestry of human experience, linking ancient cave paintings to modern cinema, tribal rituals to personal dreams. When you watch a movie and feel a surge of emotion as the hero triumphs or the villain is defeated, you're tapping into an archetypal pattern that's been stirring human hearts for millennia. Jung believed that archetypes are not just passive symbols, they're active forces in our psyche. They can inspire us, challenge us, or even overwhelm us if we don't engage with them consciously. For example, if you ignore your shadow, it might manifest as destructive behavior or projection onto others. If you embrace the hero archetype, you might find the courage to face a personal challenge. Archetypes are like psychic energy, they demand to be expressed, and how we channel them shapes our lives. Archetypes in action, from myths to modern life. Let's make this concrete with some examples. In mythology, the story of Persephone in Greek mythology embodies the archetype of the maiden and the cycle of death and rebirth. Kidnapped by Hades, she descends to the underworld and emerges transformed, symbolizing the seasons and personal transformation. This archetype resonates in countless stories of loss and renewal. In pop culture, Star Wars is a goldmine of archetypes. Luke Skywalker is the hero, Darth Vader is the shadow, Yoda is the wise old man, and the Force itself hints at the self, the unifying energy of existence. These archetypes make the story feel timeless and universal. In dreams, have you ever dreamed of a wise figure guiding you or a shadowy pursuer chasing you? Those are archetypes bubbling up from the collective unconscious, reflecting your inner struggles or aspirations. In everyday life, ever met someone who seems like a natural leader, hero, or a free spirit, trickster? These are archetypal energies at play. Even your own life follows archetypal patterns, like the quest for a career or the rebirth after a major life change. Jung's process of individuation, dancing with archetypes. Jung's ultimate goal was individuation, the lifelong journey of becoming your true self by integrating the conscious and unconscious parts of your psyche. Archetypes play a starring role in this process. By recognizing and engaging with them through dreams, therapy, art, or self-reflection, you can uncover hidden parts of yourself and achieve greater balance. For example, confronting your shadow might mean acknowledging your flaws or suppressed desires. Embracing the wise old man, woman archetype might involve listening to your inner wisdom or seeking a mentor. The self archetype guides you toward wholeness, like a compass pointing to your true north. Why this is exciting? Jung's archetypes are thrilling because they reveal the hidden connections between all of us. They show that your personal struggles, dreams, and stories are part of a larger human saga. When you recognize an archetype in your life, whether it's the hero in your determination to overcome a challenge or the trickster in your playful rebellion, you're tapping into a universal current that has shaped humanity for eons. It's like discovering that you're part of a cosmic story, with roots in the ancient past and branches reaching into the future. Moreover, archetypes empower us to understand ourselves and others. They give us a language to describe the forces that drive us, from the courage of the hero to the chaos of the trickster. They remind us that we're not alone in our experiences. Every culture, every person, is dancing with the same archetypal energies. Jung's legacy and archetypes today. Jung's ideas about archetypes have left a massive footprint on psychology, literature, and culture. Writers like Joseph Campbell, who developed the hero's journey based on Jungian ideas, and filmmakers like George Lucas have drawn heavily on archetypes to craft stories that resonate globally. In psychology, archetypes are used in therapy to help people explore their unconscious and find meaning in their lives. Even in marketing, brands tap into archetypes, like the rebel or the caregiver, to connect with audiences on a deeper level. But perhaps the most exciting thing about archetypes is their personal relevance. They invite you to explore your own psyche, to ask, what archetypes are active in my life? Am I living out the hero's journey, or am I stuck in the shadow's grip? By engaging with these questions, you can unlock new layers of self-understanding and tap into the timeless energy of the human spirit. Final thoughts. Carl Jung's concept of archetypes is a gateway to the mysteries of the human mind. It's a reminder that we're all connected not just to each other, but to the ancient, primal forces that have shaped our stories and souls since the beginning of time. Archetypes are the heartbeat of the collective unconscious, pulsing through our myths, dreams, and lives. They challenge us to look within, to confront our shadows, to embrace our inner heroes, and to strive for wholeness. So, the next time you watch a movie, have a vivid dream, or feel a spark of inspiration, ask yourself, which archetype is speaking to me? You might just discover a piece of the eternal human story and your place in it.